So the team that I think is going to win the Super Bowl is... Hey guys, welcome back to Cayden's Corner, the YouTube channel where you learn the hottest topics in sports in under 2 minutes. Let's begin. This NFL season won't be like any other. We may see teams' games being postponed because of COVID. We don't know what this season has waiting for us, but let me give you my predictions. Let's start out with my favorite dark horse playoff team from each conference. In the AFC, I have the Miami Dolphins. Over the offseason, this team did a great job reconstructing their team with free agents and draft picks. They grabbed one of the top corners in the league, Byron Jones, and made him the second highest paid corner in the NFL. Then they went and signed Kyle Van Noy and Shaq Lawson, who are great veterans for the struggling defense that gave up the third most yards per game last year. On the offensive side, things are also looking a lot brighter. They signed 2 running backs in Jordan Howard and Matt Breida to help this rushing attack that was last in the league in yards last season. They also drafted their franchise quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. I think Tua is a very smart quarterback who can make all the throws on the field. He will fit into this system perfectly. They also drafted one of the most underrated tackles in the draft, Justin Jackson. This team will have a healthy Preston Williams to go along with Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki. I love the things that this team has done this offseason, and I would not be surprised if they went 9-7 or 10-6. For my dark horse playoff team in the NFC, I was deciding between the Cardinals and the Panthers. Both of these teams have tons of upside this year, but I had to go with the Cardinals. I have to say, they got the steal of the draft with Isaiah Simmons. This guy can do it all defensively. He can play any position you ask him to. And don't forget about Jordan Hicks or Budda Baker, both having the top 5 most tackles last season. This defense needs a bounce back after allowing the most yards per game last year. On offense, Kyler Murray will have arguably the top receiver in the NFL to throw to, DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop will help open up this offense for Kyler to use his legs and for Kenyon Drake to get lots of action. I also love the offensive tackle that they took in the 3rd round, Josh Jones. He should help solidify this offense so Kyler won't be running for his life. I don't see the Cardinals winning this division because it is simply the hardest division in football, but I could definitely see a wild card spot. Now for my breakout players this season. First, we have Miles Sanders. He was a backup for most of last season, but when he played, he showed signs of greatness. He had 800 rushing yards and almost averaged 5 yards per carry. If Carson Wentz and the Eagles' passing attack continue their struggles from last season, he will have even more potential. I could see Sanders being a top 5 running back this season. Next is Broncos QB Drew Lock. He has a top 10 receiving core in the NFL and all the talent in the world. He also has a great running back tandem in Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay to help take some of the pressure off of him. I think he could be the next sophomore QB breakout and establish himself as a top 10 QB in the NFL. Sticking with quarterbacks, this 3rd-year QB is being very overlooked. This quarterback is Sam Darnold. Last year, this Jets team was a disaster. Their O-line was arguably the worst in the NFL. Sam Darnold got mono for a few games and messed up their rhythm, and also Le'Veon Bell couldn't do anything to help this team offensively. They did lose one of their best wide receiver threats in free agency, Robbie Anderson, but this team did a great job drafting. They picked one of the best offensive tackles in the draft, Mekhi Becton, to help Sammy D in this run game. They also secured, in my opinion, the best receiver in the draft, Denzel Mims. This last player is the person that I think will have the biggest breakout season out of all of them. This player is Austin Ekeler. With an uncertain passing game in LA, Ekeler will be the workhorse of this offense. Last year, he was playing like a top 5 back until Melvin Gordon came back. Ekeler had 1,500 all-purpose yards and 11 total touchdowns. He has so much potential and will definitely be a top 3 running back this season. Now to the MVP race. This MVP race is very tough for me. I knew that this position would most likely be won by a quarterback, considering a running back hasn't won this award since 2006. The player that I think is going to win is very overlooked and I think is way better than Lamar Jackson. He finally has the best receiving core in his entire career and both of his running backs healthy. This player is Russell Wilson. He has the 2nd best passer rating in NFL history and he keeps getting better every year he plays. I expect a dominant year from Wilson, winning himself the MVP. For my Super Bowl prediction, I was contemplating a few teams. I thought that the Saints or maybe even the Ravens might make it to the Super Bowl, but I have changed my mind. I think that the Chiefs' offense will stay hot this year, fresh off of Mahomes' record-breaking deal, and he will lead them to the Super Bowl. They will be battling it out with the Seahawks led by future MVP Russell Wilson. The Chiefs showed last year that defense doesn't just win championships. They showed that their offense couldn't be stopped by any team. After a year of everyone developing, I don't see why this Chiefs defense can play better than before. For the Seahawks, they added the best safety in the NFL, Jamal Adams. Pairing him up with Bobby Wagner will be very scary for opposing offenses. But I also believe that injuries were the main reason that we didn't see a deeper playoff run from the Seahawks last year. With both running backs healthy and a recently added Josh Gordon, there's no reason that this offense can't be unstoppable. So the team that I think is going to win the Super Bowl is the Seattle Seahawks. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I'm Cayden, and this is my corner.